Hello dear students, good morning. Welcome back to our biology class. And in our previous classes we have discussed the questions regarding NEET as well as the KCET in the chapter Sexual Reproduction in Learning Plans. Okay, so already 40 questions we have discussed, and right now we are going to discuss with 41 question. Okay, so here the question is that advantage of cleistogamy is, okay, so as we know the types of pollination, okay, so autogamy as well as heterogamy, and one more is the xenogamy. Okay, so in that of the autogamy, which is consist of two types of the flowers, which are the chasmogamous and cleistogamous flowers. As we know, chasmogamous flowers, they have well exposed anther as well as the well exposed stigma. Okay, but cleistogamous, they do not open at all. Okay, so this much we know about the cleistogamous as well as the chasmogamous flowers, which are present in that of the autogamous flower, that is called autogamy. Okay, so why the pollen grains transfer from stigma to the anther of the same flower. Okay, so it is having the self pollination. And another one is the zytogamy. So it consists of cross pollination. So while the transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of the different flower of the same plant. Okay, so the same plant which is consists or which is having the different positions of the flowers. Okay, and xenogamy. So the pollen grains. So while the transfer of pollen grains from stigma, okay, so from anther to the stigma of the different flowers of the different plants. Okay, so this is all about the pollination, while it takes place in the different ways. Okay, so here the question is that what is the advantage. Okay, so one of the advantage of cleistogamy is, so what is the advantage of cleistogamy. So as we know, cleistogamy in that of the absence of pollinators. Okay, so as well as absence of cross pollination. Okay, so here the options are given below. Option A is that no dependence on pollinators, and option B is that vivipary, and option C higher genetic offsprings, and D is that more vigorous offsprings. Okay, so here the first option is come to the no dependence on pollinators. So it means, so in that of the cleistogamy, the flowers, why they can't depend on another pollinators. Okay, so while absence of pollinators, as we know, in the cleistogamous flowers there is absence of pollinators. Okay, so there is no need of any pollinators to make the pollination. Okay, and absence of even cross pollination. Okay, and vivipary. See, what is vivipary? So as we know, in that of the animals, viviparous animals, oviparous animals. Okay, see here vivipary in plants. Okay, so it is nothing but the process which is involved. Okay, so sexual reproduced offsprings. Okay, as we know, the vivipary in plants in that which is the continuously growth which is takes place in that of the offsprings. Okay, which is called vivipary plants. Okay, so when we talk about viviparous animals, so it is nothing but the development of embryo inside the female's body. Okay, so that is called viviparous animals. Okay, and here the vivipary is the process which is involved sexually reproduced offsprings or continuously growth which takes place in the of the offsprings. Okay, and option C is that higher genetic offsprings. Okay, so genetically the offspring which is become very high. Okay, and the fourth option is that more vigorous offspring. So the offspring which is very strong as well as very healthy. Okay, so here the question advantage of cleistogamy in the sense, so there is an absence of pollinator, there is absence of cross pollination. Okay, so here in one of the flowers, okay, because of the flowers they do not open at all. Okay, so here obviously there is no need of pollinators to make pollination. Okay, because of self pollination which takes place in that of the cleistogamous flowers, while it is the autogamy. So here the correct option is that option A, no dependence on pollinators. Okay, so this question was asked in the 2013 in your NEET examination. Okay, and to the 42nd question. Which one of the following is resistant to enzyme action? Okay. So as we know the pollen grain. Okay. So the pollen grain which is made up of one of the hard covering layer that is called enzyme. Okay. And the innermost covering layer that is the enzyme that is made up of pectin as well as the cellulose. But the outermost covering that is the enzyme, so which is made up of the chemical that is the very organic, which is resistant, very most resistant organic material. Okay, so that is called sporopollenin. Okay, so here the question: which one of the following is resistant to enzyme action? Okay, so this question about the pollen grain. So pollen grain which is having the outer covering layer that is the enzyme. Okay, so it means resistant to enzyme action in the sense. So this pollen enzyme that is the outer layer, so which is very strong because of which is made up of sporopollenin. So that sporopollenin is one of the organic material, so which is very important and which is protects the pollen grain from environmental conditions, from strong acids as well as the alkalis. Even no enzymes can degrade the sporopollenin, so it is protect the pollen grains from the environmental conditions. Okay, so here the option is A is the correct answer. Okay, so here the leaf, cuticle, core, wood fibers, these all are regarding the plants. Okay, so it means the plant bark or the plant core. Okay, so here the question, the most resistant and which is to the enzymes action in the sense the pollen enzyme. Okay, and next come to the question number 43. Okay, so the question is that what is the function of germ pore? Okay, so here also the question is about pollen grain. Okay, so the germ pore in the sense the pollen grain is present called germ pore. Okay, see here what is the function of germ pore? What is the function of this pore? Okay, so to the pollen grain in the sense that the options are given below. The first option is that emergency of radicle. Second option, absorption of water for seed germination. Option C is that initiation of pollen tube, and option D release of male gametes. Okay, so as we know pollen grain is having the small pore and that is called germ pore. So what is the function, what is the importance of germ pore to the pollen grain in the sense? So emergency of radicle, so it is not a function of pollen grain. Okay, so here the emergency of radicle, so the radicle we cannot see in that of the pollen grain, so which is present in that of the seed. Okay, so the seed which is having coleorhiza, coleoptile, radicle, okay, cotyledons, so on. So here the radicle it is only present in that of the particular seeds and which is absent in the pollen grains. Okay, and absorption of water for seed germination. Now see here pollen grain it is not consist of any seed germination. Okay, the seed germination takes place in that of the development of the seeds. Okay, and option C is that initiation of pollen tube. Okay, so obviously the pollen in that of the pollen grain the germ pore which is initiation of pollen tube. Okay, so it helps to initiate the formation of the pollen tube. Okay, so here the correct option in this question is initiation of pollen tube. Okay, so and the fourth one is that release of male gametes. Okay, so the germ pore cannot be going to release the male gametes. So why this pollen tube is only release the male gametes? Okay, so here the function of mainly the function of germ pore is that it helps to initiate or initiation of pollen tube. Okay, question is that which one of the following statement is wrong. Okay, so question sometimes ask like that, which one of the following statement is correct. Okay, but here the question is that we are going to find out the wrong statement. Okay, so the following the given options, the which one of the wrong statement. Okay, see here the option A is that when pollen is shed at two cell stage, double fertilization does not take place. Okay, so already we have discussed a lot about the two cell stage as well as the three cell stage. While 60% of the pollen grains shed at the two cell stage, while they having vegetative cell and generative cell, and remaining species, it means 40% of the pollen grains they shed only two cell stage. Okay, three cell stage, while the generative cell which is going to undergo mitosis as a cell division, that is the mitotic cell division, and which is formed which is released two male gametes. Okay, and here come to the second option, vegetative cell is higher than generative cell. Okay, and option C, pollen grain in some plants remain viable for month, and option D, enzyme made up of cellulose and pectin. Okay, see here vegetative cell is higher than generative cell. Okay, so it is a correct statement. Why? In pollen grain it is consist of two types of cell, one is the vegetative and second one is the generative cell, and vegetative cell which is bigger than that of the generative cell, and because of the reason vegetative cell they have nucleus which is irregular in shape. Okay, so it is consist of large irregular shaped nucleus, and in that of the generative cell, so which is consist of spherical shaped cell, and it is just flowing in that of the vegetative cell. It means it just float. Okay, so it is floating in that of the vegetative cell. Okay, and pollen grain in some plants remain viable for month. Okay, so we should store. Okay, so we can store pollen grains in large number of species for month. Okay, so by using the one of the liquid nitrogen in the particular temperature. Okay, so that is the -196 degrees Celsius temperature, so we can store pollen agave. Okay, so the agave plants as well as the morning glory and guava plants, these plants are going to pollinated by bat. Okay, so in most of the flowers which have the single oil in that of the ovary and which all are packed with the inflorescence, so those all are usually going to pollinated by bat pollination. Okay, so and already we have discussed a lot about the pollination as well as the pollen grains, then pollination. Okay, so as well as the fertilization, then post fertilization as well as the pre fertilization. Okay, so 45 questions we have discussed in the chapter sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Okay, if you have any doubts please ask me, and I have to give some home assignment for your practice purposes. Okay, so I will give some questions regarding this chapter regarding for your need as well as CV purposes in the chapter sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Okay, so you people just try to understand the question and choose the correct option for each question. Okay, so you can practice and do hard work. Okay, and you can easily get success in your examination. Okay, thank you, and the next class will be discussed with the one more new